Indecision is a quiet killer inside of business. Most successful business people make decisions quickly and boldly with confidence, with, of course, well-informed information itself. While on the other hand, indecision and confusion and lack of decisions are the things that slow down a business, makes it stall and even die off. So the cool thing is that making the right decisions and learning how to set up systems to make right decisions can allow you to be successful in the things that you're looking for. So in this video, I'm going to explain ways that you can actually be more decisive in your business or the one that you're looking to make or create along the way, and how you can make those with faith-driven ideas, to be bold, to be confident, and to actually see growth or accelerated growth, making things come from stagnant to a successful, thriving business. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Calvin Gohard Richard, and I am a business and life coach, also known as the excuse killer in many forms of fashion. So if you're new to the channel, love for you to this is live here. Of course, go ahead and comment, ask questions along the way. Yeah, like, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things along the way too as well. So um, I've been in business for 16 years. I think back on some other little projects along the way that I may have done in the midst or beforehand that even led me to doing what I do right now. And there have been moments, and this is not something that I've mastered as far as being quick and decisive when it comes down to making business decisions. Many times there's a lot of options, a lot of moving parts that sometimes there's seasons where is this the right move? And so, of course, at the end of this, I'm going to give you some actionable steps, not to just be aware of indecision, but how to make decisions quickly and boldly. And there's times where I have to do that. You've heard terms like hire slowly, fire quick. Some of those kind of things that you hear about in business that are true, that are real things. And sometimes, as far as hiring and having the right people on your team makes a big difference. And do you bring this person on? Do you add this new offer? Do you engage or create a strategic alliance, a collaboration with this individual? And you have to figure out what ways it makes that happen too. So let's get into it, guys. I got like I said, 4 keys they give you when it comes down to indecision, and we'll get into some actionable steps along the way. So let me know you're here. So the key number 1 is indecision breeds missed opportunities. All right, indecision breeds missed opportunities. So you've heard the term analysis paralysis. When you get stuck in analysis paralysis, you have opportunities that could be slipping right through your fingers. It could be right there to be had, but where you're operating out of fear and not faith, you're not using the right data, or whatever it may be. You're making decisions that slow things down or do not progress. Do not move things in the right in an area. So even like I said, partnerships, investments in time and curriculum, in continue education, in coaching and mentorship, and any kind of organizations that can move things forward. But if you're just sitting there and not making a decision to move forward, it's going to you're going to have these what ifs, and sometimes your competitor would jump in and make moves where you should have made the move. You're the person that's supposed to strike first. That's not always the one who strikes first, but many times it is. But also, it's the one who strikes best. And your unique selling point, your uniqueness that brings your business and makes you different and stand out amongst the competition. Sometimes that's even the biggest thing. Here's a statistic for you: 45% of missed opportunities in business come from slow decision making processes. That's from McKinsey. So 45% of missed opportunities. Now, you don't want to walk around, and this is something that I find a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out. Sometimes FOMO, once again, it's fear driven. FOMO is fear of missing out. That's fear driven versus faith driven and taking bold actions in the unknown. Now, once again, faith is unseen. You're moving in faith. You're going and making decisions and moves without knowing the outcome, but you're believing according to the data you have in front of you, through the growth and the strategic planning that you have for your business. You make those decisions. So not out of fear, but of course, are you in prayer about it? Are you seeking wisdom? Are you seeking godly counsel? Do you have iron sharpeners? Do you have people in your life? What are the good books and podcasts? What do they say? Okay. Got James 1:5 for you. If any man lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously of all without reproach, it will be given unto him. So first and foremost, am I in prayer? Am I in my prayer? Like, Lord, guide me, order my steps. Solomon was wise enough to ask for wisdom. God was giving him a blank check. What you want, Solomon? Whatever you want, I got you. He had the wisdom to ask for wisdom. He asked for wisdom to know how to lead the people of Israel, to lead the people in a way that honors God and serves the people well. That's what he asked for. God gave him all the tools and the finances and all the things after seeking first the kingdom and its righteousness, because all these things will be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. That is always going to be a thing. Am I seeking God first? Am I laying the foundation down of the right pathway that he's leading me in this particular season? So, look at some businesses along the way, or companies along the way, like Nokia. By show of hands, how many guys have had a Nokia phone back in the day? That was my first phone, first two, three, four phones, whatever it was. When back in the what would have been late, yeah, 99, I think. Yeah, once I graduated from undergrad and finally got a phone back in the day, when you get like 250 minutes for the whole month, and you had to be really careful, and then you had to wait till after 7 to call people when it was free hours and all that kind of stuff too. But it was Nokia. Nokia was a good phone, a great phone, but when the opportunity to move into being smartphones, Nokia stuck to they stuck their ground and stayed and didn't move. And of course, you know, um, other companies came in, and Apple and Samsung and all these companies came in and said, we're going to create smartphones. I even had the Trio. What was that? It was the Palm Pilot. I had Palm Pilots and Trios and all those kind of combinations, big, bulky, ugly phones, but they did what they were supposed to do. But once again, if that particular individual says, yeah, I'm not tracking on that. I'm actually going to stick with what I've been doing for the longest. And of course, that was not the best idea for poor old Nokia. I'm just sending this. I'm sending this into my group because it's on live in my on my page. So I'm gonna send that over. Section it in quick. You get to do it. Come on back. There we go. Internet just went down for a second. So anyway, that's key number one. Once again, is give it to you one more time. Indecision breeds missed opportunity. So we don't want to miss out on what's for us, what God has for us. We want to be able to be in tune, in alignment with that. Okay. So number two. Number two is decision fatigue is stealing your mental energy. All right. Decision fatigue is stealing your mental energy. So when we look at those particular things, it's like, you ever you ever go like to a conference, so like this multiple day conference, and you're there all day, and at the end of the day, you're like, man, I am so tired. Like, I've been running or working out all day long, because new ideas coming in, your brain is being activated. And if you can get fatigued from it, or you hear Zoom fatigue, being on Zoom meetings all day long. Like, why am I so tired? I've just been sitting and watching, learning and paying attention. All those things make a difference when it comes down to us staying in alignment with with our brain. So sometimes that attack come to us on a regular basis too. So um, you know, there's a lot of, like, it's me as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of small decisions that I make. Sometimes those decisions are delegated out to my team. Like, I have an overlord of operations, my operations manager. I have other coaches and teams, systems and softwares that I can delegate out some of these tasks, so that it's not the main thing of me doing all day long. So got to have those systems in place, because little what do I say, the little small foxes destroy the vine. It's the little things that add up and have a compound effect. Little decisions, like, I shouldn't have to make certain decisions, because this is what I do. This is how I make stuff happen. Okay. um so here's a statistic here for you. Studies show that decision fatigue reduces the quality of decisions by 50% after noon. That's by Psychology Today. So if you're constantly making little decisions in the morning and early on, by the afternoon, productivity can wane. Productivity can go down, because you haven't stepped up into what you were supposed to do early. So if I only needed to make a few decisions versus a bunch of little ones, I can stand with the right energy. I can keep myself moving in the right way, where I can stay focused, I can stay locked in, Whether you're doing time blocks, certain times a day, that only times you do certain activities, sometimes you don't. You have enough time where you make rest and recovery a priority. So it's not like just grind through everything. It's not just pushing through everything. It's made a matter of actually being able to make strong decisions along the way. Okay. Matthew 5:37 says, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything that comes, then this comes from evil." So even going back and forth, like I said, I wasn't going to do that, but here it comes. Oh, and it looks a little different now. Now maybe I could consider it. No, you already made a decision before that this is not your thing. Now, obviously, wisdom says, okay, when am I supposed to navigate through and make some adaptations and as my business changes, as it grows? There's times where I need to make some moves, but that shouldn't be like an everyday thing that's coming up. It shouldn't be moving in that direction itself. So, what's up? Bring the heat. I'm trying to bring the heat. My best. Remember, I said trying. I'm get that trying out my mouth. Okay, trying, you lying. I gotta watch my words. All right. So Mitch in the house there. Good to see you, brother. But yeah, so what does it look like if I'm just walking around and is making all these little decisions? I already made it before. Remember, there's a difference between me choosing something versus deciding. Deciding means to cut off all other options. I decide, I cut, this is what I'm doing, that is discarded. And I'm discarding that. I don't need to keep making decisions because I made it once. I made a decision to be a type of person, to have a type of business, to deliver to this type of person. Okay. And I stick to that for at least a certain period of time before I come back and say, what iterations do I need to make now? So staying to the core of what you're looking at, that's going to be the biggest thing. What is going to be the core to stay in that vein of where I need to go? So one thing about decision fatigue, and like I said, I can be better at this because it takes me probably a little bit longer than I wish to pick out the shirt or the outfit that I wear, because I personally, I'm emotionally driven by that. I wear what I want to feel like. Okay, how do I want to feel? If I have to do a presentation, if I have to go do a speech, if I have to preach a message, how do I feel? If I'm getting ready for a workout, if I know it's going to be a hard workout, I may wear a shirt that says something that makes me feel in the motion. Like today, I have my More Than Conquer shirt on. I had it on yesterday because I feel like conquering. I need to conquer today, so I'm stepping into that. I knew also. Um, I took a sleep aid last night. And it kind of lingering a little bit. All right. I know that was a little lingering this morning, so it's harder. I got good night's sleep, but it's lingering a little bit. So for me, it's a matter of, okay, I need to step in. I still need to conquer, because when I'm done here, my schedule says I've got to get a workout in right after this. So I've already prepared and have my stuff ready. So anyhow, for me, I may take more time than I need to find out what I want to wear. I mean, some of this is part of, like, if you're an athlete, if you're a football player, the helmet, the shoulder pads, the chin strap, the mouth guard, all those things are necessary. So for me, I don't feel right if I don't have my gear. I don't have my gear. So part of that is stepping up into putting on the gear for your day, putting on the whole armor of God. Obviously, if you're a believer, putting on the whole armor of God, that's every day. On top of that, what are the things that I need to do? I need to make sure I take care of these. Now, if that's not your thing, you can take notes from Steve Jobs and Zuckerberg, especially Jobs. He wore the same outfit all the time. He basically had his uniform: black shirt, jeans. That's Jobs all day. And so he didn't have decision fatigue about what I'm going to have. Sometimes we need to do that with lunch or breakfast or meals. This is what I'm going to have. Meal prepping, either fully meal prepping or you actually mentally meal prep. You may say, Monday I'm eating this, Tuesday I'm eating this what I'm going to have. And I plan this out ahead of time so that I don't have to say, where am I going to go lunch today? Where's dinner going to be? I've already planned it out and I stick to the script. I stick to it. I don't have other people coming, hey, you want to go here? I mean, use discretion. Obviously, there's times when you need to, break the system, but for the most part, you create it like an engineer, create it like a scientist, and break it like an artist. That's your life. That's your systems, those adaptabilities and things of that sort. But don't wane too far away from where you need to be. So if you need to wear the same outfit, that helped actually in high school and elementary school. I wore uniforms because I went to Catholic school. I wore uniforms and it was make it easy. Some people don't like uniforms, but guess what? I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. This is what I'm wearing all the time. I only had to think about going to other places. So I really believe in uniforms are helpful in helping you with making those decisions. Okay. Key number 3: success demands quick but informed action. Success demands quick but informed action. All right. So what I mean, quick and informed, but informed, like not hastily making decisions, not just jumping in and make a decision without without context, without doing my research, without whatever is necessary for me to make an informed decision. The meaning that I got as much of the information I need to make a decision. Is it because I need to trust this person more? Do I need to trust this process more? Do I have the viable resources, money, time, energy, and effort to put into this move that I'm going to make? What is necessary? If I'm adding this in to my system, what am I taking out or removing? What is it replacing instead of me overloading my life, overloading my business, overloading my day? I need to pay attention to those particular things because I can lose out on momentum in my business accordingly. Okay. So, once again, it's making the right decisions, and it's not going to be perfect conditions, but close to it as possible. Or is this in alignment with who I am, what my business mission is, what our purpose, our vision, and core values are, and I lean into those particular things to make that decision. Okay, um, got a got a stat here for you. It says quick decision makers are 12 times more likely to succeed in business than those who wait for the perfect moment. That's from Harvard Business Review. Harvard Business, I guess you know a little bit some what they're talking about. But 12 times more likely to succeed if you make quick decisions instead of the perfect decision. It's close. Some of us are perfectionists out there. If I'm talking to you, my perfectionist folks, you're looking for it. Got to line up exactly like this, and you keep waiting and waiting and getting ready, and you never launch, you never move, you never advance to the next level because you're waiting on that perfect moment. It doesn't happen. You have to create the most appropriate moment to make a move right now, today. Okay, if you're watching this, go ahead and hit subscribe and like and add some comments. Once again, if you're live, I'd love to hear your comments, questions, anything that I can answer live. I'd love to hear from you right now, but of course you can come back later on if you're watching this on a replay. All right, so what does the word says? Ecclesiastes 9:10, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. That is what go hard is about. Whatever you do it as unto the Lord with all your might. Put everything into it. Be enthusiastic about the task at hand. Go all in on that particular thing. It's not about, oh, just train hard and, no excuses. No, there's some of that is in there, but part of it is like doing it to your best ability. Your best in this thing is different from somebody else's best in that thing, but you versus you. 1% better, continue to improve, constantly growing, making changes. I'm looking to transform. I'm going to give a new terminology coming to you guys. Transformology, just a little shh. Transformology is coming. Shh, be quiet. Don't tell nobody. It's a secret just between us right here. Okay. So, what does it look like? You know, as far as how I'm going to make the right decision. Patrick Bet David, a guy I follow, he has a company called Valuetainment. He's in financial services and whatnot. And he would even say, like, he had a company policy. Company policy was if you have a problem or an issue, you can't bring that problem or issue to leadership unless you have three solutions already in place. So, what are your three best solutions to this problem? And bring that to the board. And what happened is most folks wind up actually solving the problem because they were not so problem oriented or problem focused. They're solution focused and oriented. And that's what brought that's what brought the change. It's like I'm looking for the solution. It says, yes, go hard, then go home. Yes, there you can do both. Abundance says I can do both. I don't have to choose to go hard or go home. I go hard so that I can go home and go home to the place that I want to be and how I want it to be. All right. So it's not an either. That's so thanks. That's so good, Mitch. Lack says I have to choose one or the other. Abundance says I can have it all. Not in a greedy way, not in a selfish way, but I can have a successful business and be joyful. I can actually have a thriving, impactful business and still have family time and still take vacations. I can have a thriving business that's making crazy money and helping other folks and doing all these great things. And I do not have to sacrifice my health for it. Mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, relational health does not have to be put on a back burner because I'm building a business. That is such a misconception that I've got to, I got to cut everything else off and I'm all in. Now there's seasons of focus. Once again, I don't believe in work-life balance. There's seasons in flow, in harmony in your life and business that comes from that. So that's the thing. I need some water. Thank you for allowing me to hydrate myself there. So to get a little scratchy in there. Okay. So yes, the abundant mind says I can have it all. I don't, remember, God is a God of abundance. The enemy is the God, little g, of lack. He's always going to get us to focus on lack when God brings us abundance. First, literally the oldest trick in the book in the Bible I'm talking about was God showed Adam and Eve abundance, all the abundance, and Satan got them to focus on lack. The one thing they could not eat from, the one thing they're not supposed to be, eat from, that's what Satan brought in. So in your life, when God shows you the abundance, Satan is going to want you to shift the focus off the abundance and focus on the lack. So remember that also is really important to recognize even in decision making. Is this a decision that is abundance, not just for me, but the abundance for those who I'm called to serve, lead, to love on? Is it going to create abundance for them, or is it going to create lack? So that's one other kind of filter that will help you along the way when it comes down to making decisions. All right, last one, key number 4. Why can I get my mic is in the way? Give me 1 second. Move this out the way. Boom. All right. Key number 4 is trust your instincts. Overthinking leads to stagnation. Trust your instincts. Now, we don't have instincts like animals, and a lot of people say, "Oh, you have, they're not the same way like that." But you have experience. If you're watching this, you're looking to build something, build a life, build a business, be grow in your in the business that you're in, whatever it may be. But you got to trust in, it's that gut feeling. Some of that is okay. What's my experience? Am I tuned to the Holy Spirit, or what's going on? But I need to make these decisions that according to my experience itself. Okay, what experience do I already have like that? So if I'm over analyzing decisions, of course that's going to cause me to stagnate. It's going to cause me to lose without moving into the things you need to do. So need to know. So even in uncertainty, there's still I need to be moving forward. If I'm staying still, I'm not growing. I am dying. All right. Entropy will take place, meaning that I'll be just not doing anything will start to decline. Kind of like a house that's abandoned. Those houses deteriorate because there's no life being in it. So there's got to be some kind of life and movement going on as you're going through too as well. So we need that momentum moving in the right direction itself. It's going to be something that's going to affect our team, the folks that we're leading. If they're on your team of business and in your organization or whatever it is that you're doing, it could be a church group, it could be a study group. Some of those things need to be making the right decisions on where we go, how we do it. You can get people to lose trust and get frustrated if they're on your team and not really catching that. So here's a stat. Overthinking is linked to increased rate of anxiety, depression, and diminished business performance. That's from American Psychological Association. Overthinking is linked to increased rates of anxiety, depression, and diminished returns in performance. That's a no-brainer. We kind of can recognize that. But once again, we're already as in America, we're already as men, we're fighting enough anxiety and depression and dark thoughts and all those things come along, the chaos, all the things that bring us into the pit of despair. We got to be careful not getting caught into the pit of despair. So we've got to be able to move forward. But especially if it's creating these new things, creating new issues, that's a problem. Okay. Um, Psalm 37:23. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his ways. Delights, enthusiasm, vigor, joy. All these things that we call to do is step into that greatness, step into that greatness itself. And so God's going to order my steps. I believe it. I believe in because I lay it before him. I pray about it. I put those particular things in place. But you think about what are those decisions that we're just hanging on. If I'm holding on and overthinking itself, it stagnates the growth. Um, you have companies like Airbnb and Uber who stepped into a whole business model that did not require you. Well, Airbnb is a little different. You do own the property, but Uber, you don't even own the daggone place. They don't own the company. They just basically it's a whole company that they don't own the vehicles like traditional taxis. Like it's crazy. Some of those business models that people have thought, hmm, you know what? I think we need to. I see the trend of home Wi-Fi and home TV and stuff like that. That people might not come to the store and buy from us. Blockbuster didn't listen. Blockbuster didn't see where technology was moving, and of course, they are no longer here because they did not grow and change and iterate their business model. And here you go with Netflix and all of them. That kind of even I don't know. Last time I even go to the Red Box. You guys still go to the Red Box? I haven't done that in a long time. But kind of that transition from Blockbuster to going to the Red Box, and I think they're still out there. But people go rent the DVD from there. I don't know. I don't know when the last time we've done it, but we did a whole lot of that since we've been out here. So let me give you some takeaways, guys. Some actionable steps for you to like create frameworks and develop systems for you to make better decisions quickly with confidence and with faith. Some of these things that you want to be able to make more impact and save your time, save from frustrations, all these things that come along the way. So first one is decisions are made in the vision and in your core values. What I mean by that? So in my coaches Brian and Kerry from for Eliminate Your Limits, this is the biggest thing that Kerry always talks about. Your decisions are going to be made in your vision. Meaning, what's my life vision? What are the things I'm setting that's in front of me? So for me, my I'm here to abolish weakness in modern men of faith. That's my mission. Now there's caveats and there's different things according to that, but through life and business transformation is where I do that. And so my essential two is JIM, joy, impact, and mastery. That's the filter. Is this going to create joy in me and those around me? Like, is this going to bring me joy? It's going to allow me to create joy in other people's lives. So just the J in JIM, Jim, not workout gym. JIM, joy, impact. This is going to be impactful for my mission, impactful for me and the people that I'm called to lead. It's going to be impactful for the kingdom of God. And then M is mastery. Is it working towards my mastery or the mastery of my calling? Coaching conversations is my mastery. That is my zone of genius. What is yours? So you mastery in your musical instrument, mastery in the way you sell, mastery in relationship building, whatever it is, mastery in preaching. So joy, impact, and mastery is one. My other one is be all of me, and ALL is an acronym. Be all of me. That means being an authentic, lion-hearted leader. So my decisions are made in that. That's kind of the vision of my life. Now, the core values, there's certain core values that I subscribe to. Because I'm gonna give you some examples from mine. You can actually create yours yourself. So some core values for me is integrity and truth, servant leadership, pursuit of personal greatness, mindset matters most, faith over fear, your identity is your gift, community matters. There's a saying of this is lonely at the top in business. My mission is to create community at the top for men. We already isolate normally, but when life hits the fan, we isolate even more. So I'll create community of lions. A pride of lions is what I know is that men need each other. It's not good for man to be alone. It's not just about having a wife. It's about having friends. It's about having community. It's having iron sharpeners in your life. So community matters. Crush your excuses. The obstacle is the way. The thing that gets in the way is exactly what you need to do what you're called to do. And grit over grind. Grit over grind. So being gritty is one thing. I no longer subscribe to the hustle and grind culture. Been there, done that, but gritty, being anti-fragile, being able to get better as obstacles come, that's what I subscribe to now. So action over perfection. So train yourself to make decisions faster, faster by understanding that perfection is the enemy of the progress. Perfection is nothing. Progress over perfection. Always progress over perfection. Am I getting a little better? Am I learning a little bit more? Am I stepping further and closer to my destiny, my divine calling, my divine destination? Am I stepping closer into that? So action over perfection. Set a deadline. You nothing helps. I mean, especially if you're competitive, if you've been an athlete, setting a deadline, whether it's real or not real, it doesn't make a difference. So, for instance, at the end of this month, I have a tough mudder. I step my game up in my training and my nutrition to get prepared for that tough mudder. Now, I can do it well, probably if I'm a little deconditioned. And I've done a few that wasn't in the best shape. But that deadline says I have to show up as Calvin Gohard Richard. I have to show up as King David, the lion, the general. I show up as that guy in my alter ego, in my highest level of energy and enthusiasm is stepping into that. And so I'm in uniform. I'm in part of that is what I do in that thing. So setting a deadline. Um, if you have an anniversary, you have a wedding, you have a thing, but guess what? You don't have, you can make something up. By this date in time, I want to drop 5 pounds. By this date and time, I want to make $5,000 in my new business, whatever it is. So set a deadline that helps with that. And so gamify, find ways to gamify it. There's a reason why they say the game of money. Okay, there's a game, master the game. So that's part of that is it helps when you, especially if you don't have a deadline, it can just kind of go on and on. You just can you can lose interest and vigor towards that itself. Okay. Of course, seek God's guidance. Be prayerful. Um, be prayerful. Seek godly wisdom, coaches, mentors. What does His Word say? Godly counsel. There's wisdom in a multitude of counsel. So asking for God to give you the discernment and wisdom, like Solomon did, like the kings and prophets and other individuals along the way. Picture that. And lastly, success leaves clues. Somebody has gone before you in the area you're looking for to make change, to make growth. There's clues. Somebody's done it well. Research, study that individual or that methodology or whatever it may be that will move you forward into that particular area itself. So don't hesitate. Make great decisions off of the information that you have before you. Set up a clear vision, core values, all those particular things there, but seek for the advice that's necessary and make bold, courageous, faith-led moves that will get you to that goal, to that life, to that business, to those relationships necessary for you to do awesome, amazing, and it's fulfilling, living an abundant life that is full and abundant, like in John 10:10. So hopefully this is helpful. Once again, subscribe, like, comment, do all the YouTubey things. Share this with somebody who you know maybe just struggling with making decisions right now, and you may see that they can benefit from it in a way that moves them forward. So love you guys. God bless. Go hard. Peace. Baby, I gotta hit the end. Thought I hit end. We're still going. In.